Okay, this problem deals with a different kind of inventory system called the periodic inventory system. And under the periodic inventory system, we only know what the inventory is at the end of the month when we make a count. Now, this differs from the perpetual inventory system when we know exactly what we have in inventory all the time because we take a running count or a live count or an on-the-fly count. So this is a little different, and we're going to have four different ways to cost this inventory under the periodic inventory system. The first method is going to be specific identification, where we know exactly which units we have. This is similar to what we did before, but this is exactly, we know exactly which units we sold, and it tells us up here, and this sentence only applies to this method of specific identification. So you can ignore this sentence up here for all the rest of these other methods. So it says the company uses a periodic inventory system and its ending inventory consists of 345 units. Now, 115 from each of the last three purchases. That little area right there is only going to apply to this method, specific identification. So let's figure this out. We've got 115 from the last three purchases, so we'll have 115 that were priced at $260. That's the last purchase on December the 19th, plus 115 from this purchase, which was $250 a piece on October the 3rd, and then finally 115 from this purchase, which were at $2.20 a piece. So that is what our ending inventory is made up of, those three layers of inventory, and we'll add that up. Comes out to a total of, like it said up here, 345 units, and it has a total dollar amount of $840. And let's see what else they want us to know here. They want to know also, what is our cost of goods sold? Well, our cost of goods sold is going to be, if that's ending inventory 840 and our goods available, that is the total dollar value of all these different inventory amounts is goods available, 7349. If I take my ending inventory and subtract my goods available, I should get the cost of goods sold, which is 6509. I see this a little bit out of order here, but basically 7349 minus 840 gives me 6509 cost of goods sold, and we're finished with the specific identification method under the periodic inventory system. Let's go on to another part of the same problem. This time we're going to deal with weighted average. And this is a lot easier calculation than the weighted average we had to do under the perpetual system. So, under weighted average, we take the total goods available in dollars and divide it by the total units available, 3220, and we end up with a weighted average cost per unit of 2.2822981, or rounded to the nearest cent. And you'll have to watch what your problem wants you to round this to, but this one wanted to round this to the nearest cent. That would be $2.28 a unit. So my ending inventory is, like I said all along, 345 units. So ending inventory 345 units times $2.28 average weighted average cost, which would be a total of ending inventory of $787. Rounded to the nearest dollar. That's rounded to the nearest dollar. If I subtract my goods available, take 7349 minus the 787, I'll get the cost of goods sold under weighted average of 6562. And now I'm ready to go on to the third method within this periodic inventory system, which would be, looks like, is it LIFO or FIFO? Let's see. First thing is first thing out, and I have 345 units. So let's see what we got here. There's all of my, let's see, if I sold all but 345 of these units. Here's what I sold. I sold, my ending inventory is 345 units. Let me start over again. I have ending inventory of 345 units, and this is under FIFO. The first thing in is the first thing out. So I have sold all of these. So that's all these for $1.80 a piece. At 230 of these, I've sold all of these. That's $462 a piece. I've sold all of these, which is 1,150 units at $2.20 a piece. I've sold all of these, which is 1,030 units at $2.50 a piece. And I've only sold 5 of these. 5 of these, because if I have an ending inventory of 345 units and the first one's in with the first one's out the door, then they're all gone except for these. These are what I have left. I have 345 of these. Anyway, I add all this up and I end up with a total cost of goods sold of $64.52. These are the ones I sold. My goods available were $73.49. The difference between these two would be my ending inventory of $8.97. I could have done it another way. I could have said 345 times 260 and I'd have got the same $8.97. I just want to show you how this works, how the flow of this works. So my ending inventory, again, I could have done it this way: 345 units times $2.60, which are these are the last ones that came in, and that's a total $8.97. And let's see, that's 115 times $2 plus 230 at $1.80. No, hang on, that's not right. Let's go back just for a second here. You can ignore this last line here. I'm not sure what this last line's all about, but what we did here is we looked at the FIFO. Now we're going to look at, on the next page, we're going to look at LIFO. LIFO, the last thing in is the first thing out the door. So these are the last pieces in, and so they're going to be sold. And then remember, I have 345 ending units. So these units I've sold. LIFO says the last thing in is the first thing out the door. So these are gone. These are gone. These are gone. And I have 115 of these left, and I have all 230 of these left if the last thing in was the first thing to go out the door. So that's what I have as my ending inventory. So let's figure this out over here on this blue rectangle. So these 350 units, like I said, these were the last ones in, so they're sold. That's a total of $910. This 1,030 units, these are sold because all I have left is 345 units. So these are gone. 1,150 units, these are all gone. And I've sold 345 of these at $2, and that's it. That's all I've sold. So these are what I've sold. It comes out to a total of cost of goods sold of $66.96. If I subtract out my $73.49 goods available, I'll get an ending inventory of $644. And let's see, that's it. We're done.